Beep. Hello, and welcome back to Father and Son React to Death Battle. Wake up! It's 2010!
Okay. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too, but I think we have different memories of it because you're old and I was young.
I'm hip.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was the second voted matchup from last year, which Death Battle started around like 12-ish, 10-ish years ago. And at that time, 2 games came out that were kind of like edgy takes on superhero games.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, Death Battle should do this fight. And Death Battle, which was 2 guys, was like, I don't think we have the resources to do this fight. And so they never did the fight.
Okay.
And then, when they opened it up to... The fight basically became like a persistent request for those first-generation fans. But as time went on, the franchises became more and more obscure.
Yes,
and it became less of a financial incentive for Death Battle to do the fight, even though they had the resources to do the fight now.
Okay.
And then, the ballot came, and people were like, we can do it. We can get them to do the fight. And now they're doing the fight.
Okay. So this was... all of the people were heard.
The people were heard. They got... I have no real attachment to this. I thought about maybe playing the Infamous
you were
games.
mentioning the names. I have no idea.
Yeah, I appreciate that those who wanted it got it. I hope that I enjoy it at least.
Okay.
Let's
give it a...
Let's give it a go.
Yes, I'm hip.
Mm-hmm.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by HelloFresh.
And don't forget,
Shady Rays.
Shady Rays and HelloFresh.
I do like Shady Rays.
Cole McGrath, the patron saint of Infamous.
Alex Mercer, the Blacklight Virus prototype from Prototype. That's right, champions. You voted for it, so we're finally doing it. Long after these characters were ever relevant. Oh, hey, look what I found in the trash. An old script we wrote for this very matchup way back in 2013.
Wait, we haven't emptied our trash in 10 years?
He's way
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. With great power comes great responsibility. Tobey Maguire's not the only superhero who's had to learn that lesson.
Cole McGrath was just your average delivery boy in Empire City until one day he opened a package that exploded in his face.
This was the Ray Sphere, a device that, upon erupting, destroyed much of the city and tore through Cole at the atomic level.
Killing him instantly. Nah, actually, he scooped up some superpowers. Cool, zippity-zappity superpowers. Pew!
More specifically,
Kind of a
Cole
Dr.
became a
Manhattan
conduit, one of many beings who were granted supernatural abilities from the Ray Sphere explosion.
Which also turned Empire City into a godforsaken hellscape. This world needed a hero, or at least an anti-hero willing to clean up the mess he sorta technically made.
Cole put his powers to the test, battling rogue superpowered conduits, including the mastermind behind the blast, Kessler.
Let's be real, none of Cole's powers are as sick nasty as his parkour skills, but his ability to manipulate electricity is pretty sweet too.
Cole controls electromagnetic energy. Not only can he generate a smorgasbord of powerful lightning attacks, he can also manipulate thermal, kinetic, and gravitational energies. Electromagnetism is pretty broad after all. This includes his radar pulse, which detects the bioelectricity inside organisms even if they're hidden or transformed.
And for good measure, he got to add some ice powers to his kit. He can throw ice grenades, shoot ice spikes, and let out some epic ice farts.
He can levitate like Electric Iron Man, grind on rails like Shadow the Hedgehog, read your mind like Goku's muffin button, charge up with extra karmic energy, also like Shadow the Hedgehog, and generate force fields like
Shadow the Hedgehog.
But these aren't just force fields. They literally convert any matter they touch into energy that Cole absorbs. That's insane.
How's that?
Are you familiar with a little equation called E = mc squared?
No.
Oh, well, it defines the mathematical relationship between matter and energy, essentially how much energy any given mass contains.
Okay, the largest mass object Cole absorbs is a 343-gram helicopter chain gun round.
Perfectly converting matter to energy is technically impossible, but hey, this is a video game. The mass contained in that bullet, when multiplied by the speed of light squared, would release an energy equivalent to over 7 megatons of TNT. This means Cole's energy output is basically fueled by a nuclear reactor.
Oh, so he's like a living super bomb, always ready to go off. Sounds like my first ex-wife.
Should he somehow run low on
Very
energy, he can drain it from
2013,
nearby appliances
yes.
to recharge. He's even learned to drain the bioelectricity from people, like this. Yikes.
Cole can focus
that an
his
instant kill?
electricity through his amp, a giant tuning fork which lets him ring around the Rosie to death. Or he can just make lightsabers out of his hands. That's cool too. And because he follows Pokemon rules, Cole's extra resistant to electric attacks.
With these powers, Cole chewed through Kessler's forces, including Sasha, whose black tar powers could infect and control minds.
And he eventually faced down that son of a bitch himself and pwned his ass, despite Kessler having his exact same powers. Coincidence?
Turns out the architect of Cole's misery was himself from an alternate future timeline, manipulating events from the shadows to ensure this version of Cole became a better hero than Kessler ever was.
Yeah, you see, Cole's superpowers are molded through his actions, increasing in power and utility based on how good or evil he acts. Naturally, as a good person, Cole shaped his powers to be more focused to target the bad guys. That's pussy shit! Evil Cole is way more awesome sus! He blows everything up! Collateral damage? Who cares? He can control fire! Well, that just happened.
Nice.
Who wrote this shit?
The point is, Kessler's whole plan was meant to prevent the apocalypse, which would appear in the form of the Beast, a conduit of unimaginable power.
Cole is strong enough to create massive thunderstorms, fast enough to route electricity moving at 90% the speed of light, and maybe thanks to Kessler, tough enough to take on the Beast.
Which possessed the power of the Ray Sphere itself. It could regenerate at an atomic level and eradicate all of Empire City in a single attack. Fortunately, after a grueling battle, Cole defeated the Beast once and for all.
Though ultimately, it wasn't Cole's power that made him a hero.
In order to stop a plague created by the Ray Sphere, Cole sacrificed his life, eradicating the conduit genes and saving all of humanity.
Sure, he also killed thousands of conduits in the process, but hey, what's a few corpses when building a better tomorrow? This trolley stops for no one.
Cole was remembered as a saint by the people of New Marais, as a hero by the friends he left behind, and an inspiration to future generations. A true testament to the responsibility of power.
All right.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by...
I've thought about playing
Fresh's
Infamous.
America's
I hear it's
#1
pretty good.
meal
Okay.
kit.
Yeah,
Fresh.
in terms of like, but the thing is, the Spider-Man games exist now,
Yeah.
and that so it's kind of like,
Yeah, those are really fun.
yeah, like they are clearly trying to be the Spider-Man games before those came out. So
Right.
Kid-approved
Yes.
lunches
Or
and
the
snacks
Spider-Man's
and
trying to be
time-saving dinners.
that.
HelloFresh has what it
I
takes
think
to
it might
keep
even
everyone,
be
including you,
some of the same team.
satisfied.
And
Okay.
with the new season
Yeah.
comes new recipes. You can take
Don't
your
forget,
pick of
'cause
40
it's still
weekly
Sony.
recipes that
Hello
suit your
Fresh.
lifestyle.
Yeah,
From
Hello
veggie
Fresh.
family friendly to fit and wholesome.
And with HelloFresh, you always know you're getting top-notch produce since it travels from the farm to your door.
You were the one who said leave these ads in.
Go to
I know.
HelloFresh.com/50deathbattle and use
Well,
code 50
with us talking over this and everybody getting a chance to-
But
Here
anybody who's
are
seen this has
the
probably already
HelloFresh.com/50
seen the original video and thus the ad.
It's okay. I'm still not going to ever do anything because how much we love doing this as well as watching Death Battle.
Fair enough.
So,
I mean, I don't get any money off these reactions.
With
No, I
Okay.
agree.
power comes great responsibility.
More Spider-Man.
But not everybody's got an Uncle Ben to tell him that.
Alex Mercer woke up in hell. Manhattan Island was gripped by the horrific Black Light virus, transforming its citizens into terrifying monsters.
Alex had no memories. He was a man without a past, and maybe no future. But he did have one thing.
The Black Light virus can rewrite your cells all the way down to your DNA, and somehow it granted Alex incredible superhuman abilities. He can infect anyone he touches with this virus, altering their biology at the molecular level in seconds, and giving him complete control over their actions.
So Alex pushed on, desperate to
They
avenge
mentioned a
himself and the
person that
city
Cole
by finding
fought who
whatever
could do
monster
that.
unleashed this nightmare and eat them. Yeah, he can consume people to give himself a power boost. He's like Kirby, if Kirby listened to Linkin Park.
This extra biomass gives him superhuman strength, a greater metabolic rate, increased reaction times, and even a regenerative healing factor. Essentially, Alex is an ever-evolving super being, the ultimate being.
Oh, like Shadow the Hedgehog.
By consuming victims, Alex also receives all their memories and experiences, including Peter Randall, a 69-year-old man whose entire history Alex processed in just 11 seconds. Being able to condense that much information into that time frame means Alex can perceive events happening within 5 nanoseconds.
Which is about how long I was married to my second ex-wife.
Alex can shapeshift his body at will, creating disguises, increasing his muscle mass, and forming nearly unbreakable armor. And when he wants to kill someone, he can become his own weapon, turning his limbs into claws and blades, or generating countless tendrils that give him unmatched control over his environment.
With these goopy powers, he came up with a bunch of Street Fighter moves, like the air dash, the cannonball, the bullet dive drop, and the Hunter Dirt Nap. Pretty sure that was my third ex-wife's boyfriend's stripper name.
And after consuming enough people, Alex reaches critical mass and can unleash his evil slop in powerful ultimate attacks.
Like the Tendril Barrage Devastator. Oh, it's beautiful.
Despite being seen as the world's most wanted terrorist, fair, Alex used his powers to stop the spread of the virus and end the city's nuclear devastation.
It was then he learned the truth. He wasn't Alex Mercer at all.
He was the Blacklight virus itself, which absorbed the memories and likeness of the real Alex Mercer, who was not only dead, but actually responsible for all of this in the first place. To decipher this, I recreated the Blacklight virus myself, the most dangerous...
Why is it empty?
He's right behind me, isn't he?
So the man Alex was hunting the whole time was himself. Dun dun dun!
That's right, Boomstick. Turns out Dr. Alex Mercer helped create the Blacklight virus, and when things didn't work out and he was about to die, he recklessly unleashed it upon the city.
What a petty SOB! What he didn't know was that the virus would merge with his sentience and memories and become a new Alex. How? Why? Don't question it, it's a nothing burger.
But is this massive viral material that calls itself Alex actually human in any meaningful way?
The poor bastard sure tried to be. Too bad humans can be dicks, and everyone kept betraying him. Even the so-called love of his life, who shot him in the face. Whoa! So, Alex figured, obviously, humanity had to go.
Not just go, but be made better. Whatever goodness remaining with this Alex was left behind as he plotted to unleash a second Blacklight virus, recreating humanity into a super species in his own image. Great power became great terror.
Classic anime RPG villain stuff. And he was strong enough to do it. Alex can casually tear buildings apart, dodge supersonic tank shells, and even defeated the Supreme Hunter, who was tough enough to survive a nuclear blast that would have leveled Manhattan.
Based on the blast radius given in-game, that's 450 kilotons of TNT.
Speaking of nukes, Alex survived one. His healing factor is off the chain. And after being blasted into paste, all he needed was the tiniest bit of himself to come back good as new.
His healing occurs at the cellular level, making him virtually impossible to kill so long as he keeps consuming.
But attempting to take over the world and kill millions of people pissed off a certain James Heller, a dude who had just had enough of his fucking weird, fucking rambling shit.
Who used the same virus powers to consume Alex once and for all.
Live by the Kirby symbiote, die by the Kirby symbiote. But was Alex just a virus after all? I mean, what's more human than the urge to conquer the world, drive its species to the slaughter, consume its raw genetic resources, and crown yourself king? Maybe the day Alex Mercer died was the day he truly became human.
Wow, that was intense.
Fuck yeah, it was.
So it's Electro versus Carnage.
This
Yeah,
episode's
I'm gonna
sponsored
go
by
with
Shady
Alex.
Some
I
giving you
really
trouble
keep
this
thinking
season?
that-
I'm
Take
going
it
with
on
Cole.
with
I
beer
think
built
it's
to
Cole's
last.
got this.
Shady
Okay, I'm
Rays
gonna-
premium polarized shades are perfect for the warm weather
The
and
whole
available at an
idea
affordable
of
price.
Shady Rays is
being
an
able
independent
to
sunglasses
absorb
company
the
that offers
energy
a
the way
world-class
that
product
he
that's just
absorbs
as
it,
good
as
as
far as
any
like
of those expensive
how they were
pairs we
breaking
wore.
down the bullet.
They're also built
Oh, that was
durable
Cole.
frames
Oh,
and clear
that's what I'm
out
saying.
Electricity
the
Dad's
outdoors.
Cole.
Right,
not
I
even
understand
the
that.
best
That's what I'm
protection
saying.
this
That's
fabric
when I
provides.
worry
If
about
you
why I
use
would
or
say
break
that
a pair,
Alex
even on
wouldn't
day
win this.
one, they
But
told us
Alex
they'd send
being
you a
so hard to
brand new
kill
pair,
and
no
trying to
questions
be,
asked.
I
You
would
can
say
wear your
because
Shady Rays
cellular
with
levels are
confidence
really
because
hard to
every pair of
beat when it's
sunglasses
just
is
pure
backed by
energy.
Lust and
I was gonna say that is
They
my
have your
only
back
thing,
long
whereas
after
I
you
feel like
Exclusively
otherwise the
for
numbers they
viewers,
mentioned, Cole
Shady Rays is
wins
giving
out.
out
He
their
seemed to
best
have more
deal of the
powers in
season.
general.
Yes,
The only thing is that Alex could like touch him and take him over, but they showed up as a person
Try for
that
yourself.
Cole
The Shades
fought that
rated
could do
5
that.
stars by over 250,000 people.
I'm going with Cole. You're gonna go with
All
Alex.
right, the
Yes.
contestants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
I hope this has Linkin
Rock
Park
that
music.
battle!
think I've still got room for dessert. Buddy, you are one sick freak.
Whoa!
So you're right. He's better on as far as the
Yeah.
gadgets and the powers immediately.
What a nightmare. You don't know the half of it.
Yo, that's pretty sick.
They haven't
So
talked about
much power, and yet you waste it on these vermin. You and I can change this world for the better. The only vermin I see here is you.
lightsabers. Armor.
Armor.
You don't want to give me your power. Fine, I'll just take it. Good idea.
There it is.
This world sure isn't perfect, but it's a lot better without you in it, asshole.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that.
Yeah. I figured that was the way it was going to go, but
was in the trash. I had to hear someone say "awesome sauce."
Both
Yes,
opponents were
I do like
incredibly
awesome
versatile
sauce.
and deadly, and both could match each other's powers blow for blow.
They could each create weapons, amplify their strength, and fight at range.
But could Cole survive Alex's infection? Well, Alex would usually need to weaken an opponent to get that trick to work. Even then, the Ray Sphere incident that created Cole's powers in the first place ripped apart everyone else down to the atomic level, and the Beast's attacks were capable of the same thing. Considering the Blacklight virus only works down to molecular DNA, it's reasonable to say Cole would be able to resist it.
Sure, Alex could have potentially consumed Cole's biomass to give himself an edge, but Cole could just do the same thing to Alex, absorbing his bioelectricity to power
Yeah.
himself back up.
But nothing could challenge the gap in power. Everything Alex survived could simply not match Cole's force fields, and especially not the power of the Beast. The blast the Beast created actually had a much wider radius than the one the Supreme Hunter could.
That
survive.
felt like
To
a
compete with
like
his
yeah.
foes,
Keep
this
that
means
for
Cole was
later.
simply far
Yeah.
more powerful than Alex.
Speaking of the Beast, Cole's ability to disintegrate it at the atomic level meant that even Alex's crazy molecular regeneration couldn't stand up to Cole's might.
Just like how Cole could overpower Kessler despite his resistance to electricity, or how he resisted Sasha's mind control powers, which were eerily similar to the Blacklight virus.
But I bet you're wondering, what if Alex fought evil Cole instead? Well, it'd be even worse, because that Cole took the Beast's power for himself. That's good night for Angry Virus Boy.
Alex was a versatile, deadly opponent, but Cole's counters, speed, and raw power gave him the edge.
Alex got the Cole shoulder, just like this stupid script.
The winner is Cole McGrath. Thanks
That
for
was a fun
watching,
one.
and hey,
Yeah,
are you a Death
well,
Battle
fun.
member?
I hope the people who voted for that are satisfied with that. I think that they got that vibe.
So click that join button.
Script jokes aside, I think the fight vibe is pretty good.
Yeah. No, I next time. Haha. Nice.
Not the 80s animated villain I want to see, because I wanted to see Skeletor.
Yeah. that
But
would've
I'll take Megatron.
been- yeah. This is.
This one is one that I've seen around. It's fine. I know you don't have a super big attachment to either.
No, but
You
know,
like you've kind of like Transformers a little
I do.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of shows that some of them are even good.
I liked the thing that I liked about the Transformers was the original toys that actually converted.
Did convert? Yeah.
Yes, I thought that was good engineering work.
Fair. I mean, they were Japanese.
Yeah.
They were, and it's just that it's weird, right? The toys were made Japanese for like they were made in Japan for like another brand, and then they were brought over and made into their own brand. I think that's how it works. How it worked.
All I remember is they were cool toys.
They were cool toys. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for watching. We'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Later.
Have a great day, everybody.